Hi, this is Evan Kaye, and I just wanted to invite you to watch this presentation with my brother Dave. He's a member of the gang, so I'm just going to bring Dave into the video now. Dave, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, it's been quite a process getting this to come up tonight, but I appreciate you hanging in there and letting us record this.
Oh, that's good. We will be able to these modern conveniences to work.
You know, if any of you have watched any of the episodes of or read any of the episodes of my Amazon Zilla, Dave was featured in number 1, 2, and 3 as the leader of the gang.
Oh,
and,
really?
And so I'm going to bring up a little slideshow here with me and you kind of next to it like that. And let me just go to the next slide here. So here is a picture of Dave and me, or how we. The first picture is what? How old do you think we were in that first picture?
The one to the left here, the first picture, I would guess probably 1 and 3.
Yeah, I think so, something like that. And that's when we were over on Bracken Street. I think that's the first picture of me. You can tell I'm pretty enthralled with whatever it is that we've got. There's a toy.
You might even be younger than 1.
Yeah. And then this other picture was up in McCall, if I remember right. We were up there with Mom and Dad, or maybe it's in Yellowstone, or maybe Yellowstone. I don't know. And so I'm probably what, 6 or so there.
I don't know. You look like
you're old. You look older than that, though.
I got really high top
shoes on.
The flood there.
Let me just go to this next slide. So here, I just want to introduce everybody here. And so we've got my sister Aline, and then Laura Lee and Sherry and Holly and Dave and myself. And then we got Glenn and Gordy, who were 2 members of our gang. And so I wanted to show this picture. Dave, how old do you think Glenn and Gordy were? Were they about your age?
They're about 1 year older than me.
Okay, so they were older than you. Okay. Do you remember them in school, in grade school at all?
No, I sure don't. I don't think they went to our school, actually. It doesn't ring a bell that they did.
Yeah, we talked about that. There was another school that was called Morningside. We went to Harrison, to elementary school, and there was another one called Morningside, which almost was an identical school as far as the layout of the school goes, right?
Well, yeah, I'm involved with engineering, and I've seen the designs on both schools, and they were exactly the same, other than different location and set up just a little different.
And so during the school year, Glenn and Gordy were not riding the same bus as us or anything like that. They were off going to Morningside. So, you know, I don't have any memories of those guys at school.
I kind of believe, they were twins, so I kind of believe I remember that their mom, they either at Harrison wouldn't let them be in the same class, or they wanted to force them to be in the same class. And I think Morningside had a different policy, and they would, I believe, allow them to be in different classes or something.
I think that's probably what it was. Yeah. Okay. So their mom was, how old do you think they were when their mom died? Not too long after going to school, was it?
They had to have been 10 or so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I just remember I told a story in one of my episodes about Gordy swearing that he saw his mom alive, or not alive, but her spirit down in the laundry room folding clothes. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I was actually there when we were all upstairs at their house, and he was down in the basement down there. And he all of a sudden came screaming and yelling and crying and yelling up there, and he said he saw his mom.
Yeah.
And so we went down there, and he said that she was in the laundry room, which was just in the other room from where they
kind of like a big family room, and then the laundry room was on the end of it. And then you'd go into they had a bar, didn't they, or something as you kept going further.
Yeah, they had a bar at the one end, and I believe Courtney or Corky Bjorn must have been living there at that time, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, Corky couldn't have been, because if she just barely died, wasn't it just when she just barely died, or was it later than that?
It was a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he wasn't there. I didn't remember that they were down in the basement, staying down there as their bedroom until after they got all of them together.
I don't think they were down there in the bedroom. And I remember when we would go by there, we would just run past that laundry room because it was so scary after that.
Yeah, it was kind of scary that way, but in a way, it shouldn't really be all that scary if you believe in spirits and stuff. She might have just been there trying to keep track and taking care of them.
Yeah. Well, here's another picture. I just want to go through a couple pictures. This is Dave and me at the father and sons outing. I think it was like at Banbury's or.
That's Banbury's. I remember
so
that.
We would have been looking down towards the river, and then they had a camp area and stuff behind it and things. And if you look real close, you can see those black shoes we had on with the stripes on them. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah. Some kind of spider shoes or something. I can't remember the exact name of them.
And man,
they were really kind of narrow in the back. I remember they're supposed to be real fast shoes.
Yeah. Oh man, we could run in those babies.
I think we must have been about 10 and 12 right in there, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Somewhere in there. Because anyway, and then here's a picture of Harrison Elementary School where we went to school. And this is a modern day picture from the year 2021.
Right.
And you can see that it's got a big addition there off on the left. But and an addition onto this first part right behind the tree, because that's where first grade used to be, was right behind the tree, if I remember right.
Yeah, there's actually 3 additions shown there. The addition straight on, and then the one on the left. I actually was involved with the one on the left.
Okay.
And then the one clear to the right, there was an addition added on there.
To the back end of it.
For the library or something right in that area.
Yeah.
So it actually, you can see that where it squares out and comes out. I think that was all addition.
Okay. Well, and then we would catch the bus over to the far left over there. There was like a little side road and the buses would all line up over there, right?
Yeah. On the view of the camera, it looks like it would be to the right, but.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. Over there on the right-hand side. Yeah. And so I remember one incident when I was in kindergarten, in first grade. I was in class. I got held after class. I don't know why, but Mom told me, whatever you do, you get on that bus with your brother Dave.
You probably were kissing girls or something.
Yeah, who knows what it was. But I was in trouble for some reason. And so I remember sitting in my classroom, looking out the window. I could see the bus over there, and I saw you get on the bus. And I just jumped up and told the teacher, I've got to go get on the bus. And I ran out the door.
Did she chase you?
No, she didn't chase me or say anything the next day or anything. So anyway, I thought that was kind of one of the stories I'm going to tell in this next episode. I'm going to make an episode called Did We Really Learn Anything About Our School Days? So that's one of the stories I'm going to tell in there. But here's this next picture. I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but you can see the red dot there is Harrison Elementary. And then 1719 Falls Avenue, that was where we lived.
Right.
And so it shows that it was about 1.2 miles. And if I remember, you had to be 2 miles from a mile or 2 miles from school to ride the bus.
I think it was maybe even a mile and a half.
And so we had to walk to the bus stop that was just a few blocks away from our house to make it be further away.
You see the road right to the right of where our house was. That road right there was Madrona.
Yeah, you're right.
We had to go right past that to catch the bus.
Yeah. And then if you're in some of our other episodes, we talked about Pillar Falls and the Prime Bridge. And so if you go to the top of this picture, and you probably can't see my mouse on here at all, but the Pillar Falls is there to the kind of the center right side of the screen where you got Evel Knievel River jump site right to the right, left of that. And then the Prime Bridge is over the other one. So
right.
that's kind of the distance that that was our world, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, quite a bit of it right in that area there.
And all these homes and businesses that are here weren't there.
And then we did spend some time down there at the Twin Falls High School and the Linwood Shopping Center and stuff like that. Too.
Oh, yeah.
Just at the kind of the bottom of your screen there.
Yeah. Yeah, the Linwood had the Arctic Circle there. Remember the old Arctic Circle?
Oh, yeah. And Pennywise Drug and Arctic Circle.
Kings.
Safeways, Foods.
Yeah. I remember the first accident I got into was in that Safeway parking lot. I was in the car driving with Dad, and he said, "Keep on backing up, back up, back up." And I wham, hit into somebody.
I must not have been with you on that.
No, I think I was alone with Dad anyway. It was in the Linwood parking lot. Anyway, let's see what else slide I got here. This was just one I added just for the fun of it. It's my 6th grade class. And I know it doesn't have you in it, Dave, but it's got people maybe that you recognize. I'm there in the front in the tan pants.
Yeah,
I was pretty slim. I was pretty slim then.
Oh, yeah. We were both pretty slim.
Yeah. And then sitting on my right, I guess, the left in the picture is Kyle Yacola. You remember Kyle?
He's the one right in the middle, right?
Right in the middle, right above the picture. And he moved into some of the new houses that got built over by Will's, and he went to scout camp and stuff with us, I think, a little bit. And then next to him, I can't remember the kid's name, Patterson, I think is what it was. And then it's Mike Babel. And
I recognize him too.
And then on the second row on the far right-hand side of the picture is Rick Murray standing there. You remember Rick Murray?
Yes, I do. He's the one way over to the far right when I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah, Rick. And so one of the stories I'm going to tell is about going to Rick Murray's house for lunch hour. And so the school teachers used to say, "Who's eating school lunch?" And everybody'd raise their hand, I am. Or they'd say, "Who's going home for lunch?" And so one day there was like 10 of us, and we all said, "We're going home for lunch." So we all raised our hand, and we all went as a group across the big field that was between Harrison and Falls Avenue, and we walked through that field over to Rick Murray's house for lunch. And so the teacher got a little suspect, so she called Rick's dad, and he met us there at the house, and we all got kicked out of the house and got sent back to school.
So he lived in that subdivision that was kind of across the street from the turf club, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, kind of behind the armory and all that was back in that area.
Right.
And so, yeah, we had some fun there. And I don't know if you were on the bus one other time. I don't know if I can blame this one on Rick or not, but somebody was waving at a police officer with his middle finger out of the back of the bus once. And I think it was either Rick or Craig Nelson. Craig's right in the middle above Kyle in the middle there. That's Craig Nelson.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say, I recognize that one too. I couldn't know who that was.
He just lived down the road from us. And so the bus got pulled over and this person got hauled into the police car. That's all I remember. It was pretty traumatic. So
I remember you and he getting in a big fight one time.
Craig or who?
Yeah, you and Craig.
I remember in junior high one time we got in a fight one time. Somebody did. They were trying to haul me out of the locker room with just my jock strap on. And I was fighting pretty hard. So
yeah, I bet.
Anyway, well, we had quite the time as kids in Twin Falls. It was quite a place to grow up, and especially where we lived. We were kind of those 6 or 8 houses out there and a few houses beyond Madrona. But other than that, we had a farm in front of us and big field behind us and the construction company.
Yep.
Yeah,
there was a lot of places to roam and to get in trouble a little bit if you wanted to.
Yeah, we talked in one of the stories. I tell the story about was it Miller Construction? What was the name of the construction company back there?
Nelson and Miller.
Nelson Miller, and they had a junk pile. Tell us what you remember about the junk pile.
Well, they had out in front of their work. They had a building there that they did welding and worked in and stuff. And out in front of that a ways, they had a junk pile that they would pile things in that appeared like they're going to throw it away. And
Yeah.
a lot of times they would burn it
Yeah.
sometimes. And so they had that pile, and
We
anything that
just
was
try
in
to
that
beat them.
pile,
Yeah, we tried beating them there before they burned it.
yeah, it's free game to us. And I also remember behind their building there, they had a great big hole in the ground with a big
Yeah.
plate over it, and it was full of dynamite.
Yeah, I think you had a big lock on it too, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we might have jimmied the lock or something.
I think we broke the lock off actually and looked inside. At least we were smart enough not to get down in there and play with the dynamite.
Oh yeah, because it was in the ground, and you had to go down through a little trap hole.
Yeah, crazy. Anyway, we had a lot of fun getting supplies and things to build tree houses and all kinds of things from Miller Construction.
Yeah, they supplied the nails and everything.
Yeah, it's amazing how some of those things end up in the junk pile. Oh, anyway. Well, I appreciate you taking some time to talk to me a little bit about school. What do you remember about going to Harrison? Was it a school lunch or anything? Any of the memories you had, or Christmas time or anything like that at school?
Oh yeah, we had school lunch there.
How much was it? 35 cents, wasn't it, or something like that?
It might even only been a quarter when I first started, but either a quarter or 35 cents. And I think if you wanted to buy some milk, it was like 3 cents, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think we usually ate from the hot lunch thing.
Yeah, it was good, I thought.
They had tickets that we had to go get in line for on Monday morning or something early to go buy these tickets, and so then we could use those for the whole week. But I remember my first grade teacher. It was her first year. That was the first time she ever taught. And then my second year grade teacher, I had my third grade teacher. I had a little bit of problem with, to be honest with you.
I think I had a hard time in third grade too. Was it Mrs. Maxwell?
It was exactly the same teacher.
Yeah.
Because she didn't like you because of me, but I had really a rough time a little bit in first through third grade, to be honest with you, because I never did had the advantage of going to kindergarten. I never did go to kindergarten. I just started school, and I never really didn't learn phonics or anything, so I didn't learn how to sound things out. They were just trying to have us memorize words, basically.
Yeah, right. I got the same first grade teacher you did, so I had the same experience. After that, I think they changed it back to teaching phonics again.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
But when I was in Mrs. Maxwell's, Maxwell was the third grade teacher. And so that classroom was kind of right over there by the library almost.
Yep.
And I really had a struggle in that year. Yeah. And my teacher gave me, I don't know, seemed like she was a little bit cantankerous to me, a little bit. And the next year I had a really sweet, nice lady, and I really blossomed a lot in the fourth grade, I think, to be honest with you.
Mrs. Maxwell gave me my first D, was in the third grade, and it was for writing. Penmanship. Anyway, fourth grade was kind of fun because isn't that when we studied Idaho? Fourth grade?
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, and we made these little booklets that I made them out of wood, out of paneling, I think.
I didn't say, I copied you, so. We would burn by the front of them?
Yeah, I had some kind of a thing that we burnt with the wood burning kit or whatever it was. I had that book for a long, long time. I don't think I still do anymore, but I had it for a long time.
I kept mine a long time too.
But it had a lot of interesting things, and that we gathered through the whole year about Idaho. And then my fifth grade teacher, actually had pink hair.
Oh yeah, I remember her. Yeah, she was She drove
I
a
think-
Thunderbird or something too. I can't remember. But
Oh yeah, she was kind of a.
yeah.
It's probably considered to be a.
A number.
Probably a good-looking gal and stuff.
Yeah.
She had pink hair and she had a Thunderbird. You know,
Yeah.
a convertible Thunderbird, I believe.
I think so.
Which was pretty fancy for back then.
Yeah. Now, when did we start doing like flag football and basketball and stuff? Was it right there about third and fourth or fourth and fifth grade, somewhere in there?
I think fourth grade, maybe.
Yeah.
Seems like. And, you know, it got more serious as you went on.
Yeah.
For fourth and fifth, sixth grade.
Yeah. We had the basketball teams and football. We always had Bill Hone was always the guy who was our leader guy. So we were Hone's Heroes and Hone's Hornets. I don't remember.
I was going to ask you, I'm not sure if he was actually the guy on the second row clear to the far left.
Yeah, let me bring that picture back up here if I can get.
I kind of was wondering if that was him because that kind of looked a little bit familiar to me.
Yeah, let me bring that picture back up here. There we go. That's the wrong picture. Let me go to the next one here. Right here. There we go. So Bill Hone, yeah, right next to the teacher.
Yeah. Isn't that
That's
him?
Bill. Yep, that's him.
I was thinking that looked like him.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's Bill. And he, for whatever reason, he was always the leader of all of our sports things and things. So we would, you know, he would be the guy in charge, kind of. I don't know. He was our captain, I guess you'd call him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
you were what? You were 2 years older than me, right? So I was when you were in sixth grade, I was in the fourth grade.
Right. That's correct.
Well, anyway. Well, I remember that we learned to pole vault too. That was something that was really important to you and me, was pole vaulting. And what got us started doing that? What do you remember?
Well, it was something that was done at school a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So probably around, I don't know if we pole vaulted much before like fourth grade or something. You might have started a couple of years earlier just because you were younger with me.
Yeah. Remember the neighbor that was a friend of what was the McVeigh boy's name that had the friend that was the pole vaulter? Scott Kreider, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He taught us how, didn't he? Did he show us how?
Well, Bill Miller was.
Bill Miller. That was it. Bill Miller.
And the guy next to us was McVeigh.
Yeah.
Let me see. What was his? Jack McVeigh, wasn't it?
The dad was Jack, I think. I can't remember the boy's name.
I think he was Jack too, or called Jackie.
Okay. Yeah.
But there was a friend that was Bill Miller, and he ended up being a real good pole vaulter for the state and everything.
Yeah.
And so did Scott Kreider, both of them. And it seemed like Twin Falls produced a lot of real good pole vaulters.
Yeah. A lot of years. Yeah. I remember pole vaulting one time, and I did 7 foot, I think it was seventh grade or something, 7 foot 3 inches. And I came in, the Olympics were on, and somebody high jumped the same height. But we used to make pole vaulting standards in our backyard, and we had quite the pole vaulting pit, back there. And either there or in the field.
Yeah, we had a nice pit right there on the edge of the garden. When the garden started growing, I guess we would clear it off, but
yeah.
But it was there for the spring usually for a while.
Yeah, right. And we had a big they were aluminum poles at Harrison. It seemed like that we used to pole vault.
Yeah, they were. And we pole vaulted at the school there, kind of out in front of the pump house a little ways.
Yeah,
they had some sand pits there that we would land in the sand pits.
Yep, behind where the sixth graders went in that door there, the big door.
Yeah.
And then once a year we had a big track meet in elementary school. Do you remember that? Where all the other elementary schools would meet at the high school?
Yep, we had a big track meet. That was a lot of fun, I thought.
Yeah, I did too. I remember that. Anyway.
Go there for like almost half a day or something, it seemed like.
Yeah, it seemed like we spent most of the day there doing stuff. I can't remember if we pole vaulted over there or not. We used to go to the high school and pole vault in their pit. I remember that.
Well, I remember pole vaulting in grade school in the at the
track meet.
track meet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Well,
actually, for a number of years, I won several
yeah.
times, but I most of the time got second place.
Yeah.
And
In junior
Gary,
high, did you pole vault in junior high and track and stuff?
yeah, I did some.
Yeah.
I did a little bit. I didn't pole vault really in high school.
Yeah. They
But
introduced those fiberglass poles that would band, remember? And they'd flip you. And that I could not get used to that feel of the pole flipping me or bending it. And so that's when I quit. I just couldn't do it.
we had a
But I think you did about 12 feet, didn't you, Dave? I think you got up to about
no,
12.
I didn't go that high. I
Was
probably
close.
did over 10 feet anyway.
Yeah.
10 or 10
Yeah.
foot 6 or so. But I didn't really pole vault in high school.
Yeah. You mainly played basketball was your main sport after junior high and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, they didn't accept me to be on the team when I was a sophomore, which was really difficult on me and really.
If I remember right, there's like 200 guys trying out, though. That's how it was when I went sophomore year.
Yeah, there was an awful lot. And I didn't get selected to be on the team, which was really difficult for me. And
Yeah.
actually sprained my ankle that year too.
Yeah.
But I did play my next year in junior when I was a junior.
Yeah. I remember that. And they had a Bruin board or something that you'd have to jump and put pegs in, or I can't remember what it was practice wise.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you were going to play in sports, you had to be in 6th period PE when we were in high school.
Yeah.
And then the last year I was there, we actually had our intramural basketball team, which was pretty good, really.
Yeah.
Trace was on on that team with the older guys because he was 1 year younger.
Right.
And we had a pretty good team.
Do you remember playing church basketball and how we went to Rick's College? Were you part of that?
I don't remember going to Rick's College, but I do remember playing church basketball a lot.
Well, we played one time and we won the regionals and the area or whatever. We went to Rick's College to play, and we stayed in the chaparral compartments in their dome, in their little lounge, and we slept on the floor. Well, anyway, we played cards all night long, and we didn't hardly sleep, and so we just got wiped out in the first game. Our coach was so mad at us. But we had a pretty good team. We had oh God, I'm trying to remember the guy that was the blonde guy that was down the road that played basketball the year Trace's year. Anyway, but he played on our church team because they let him do it. Bauer or he paid for Twin Falls High. It was like, and he ended up working for the Parks and Recreation Department in town.
Oh,
anyway,
Boyer,
that was
Dennis
it.
Boyer.
Dennis Boyer, and he played on our church team. And man, he was good. He was tall. Anyway, but he ended up being a sports guy.
When we were playing, when we were playing basketball for the school, we really weren't supposed to play basketball for any other teams. We weren't supposed to play for the church
or volleyball or anything.
I normally didn't obey that rule. I normally played both because anyway, because no one caught me or worried about it.
Right? Yeah. Well, Well, anyway, it's been fun talking to you and reminiscing on these things, and I'm going to try to use some of this in some of my episodes of my Amazon Vella book. If you haven't gone to that, it's a way to tell stories by a serial. So you just read one little episode at a time. And so anyway, Dave, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to be here. And I love you and appreciate you. You were always my idol. So.
Oh, well, you were my idol too, my brother.
I have two little grandsons that are about the same distance between as them, and it reminds me of me and you all the time. So anyway, Well, thank you everybody for coming and joining us, and thanks Dave for being a part of this presentation.